Hello, I'm going to be doing a quick one through my Bookcase VR editor. I'm going to go ahead and start off from the main menu. So I implemented my Bookcase editor within a fun little side-scrolling game. I've still got a couple development tools on, such as being able to see certain collision boxes, things like that. Ideally, these would all be turned off. So as you can see, fun little side scroller. I've got two options here, play or create. You can't see this for some reason. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't display on my computer screen, but there's a highlight every time I go to select something. So even without the collision box, the user would be able to know what they're about to select because of the highlight around the object. I'm going to go ahead and create a new level. So we're here, we're into level 6. And go ahead and drop the starting platforms. So I got a couple options. I can save it as new, I can save it, save and quit, delete, or just exit. Here's the bookcases. You can come over here, spawn in a bookcase. You can see these collision boxes. Don't want to punch my TV, but you can see these collision boxes where they're what are keeping track of the objects that are spawned. So when I remove this ramp, it spawns a new one in its stead. I'm going to go ahead and put this one here. But a game isn't fun without any danger, so I also just implemented one super simple collision hazard. And go ahead and put 2 of them there, make it a long jump. And there are a few bugs and kinks to work out still, as with most software. See, I'm not even sure this jump is possible for him. But that's how things usually go. As you can see, everything is working. I've got a working level editor here. I've got a working game here. The finish block doesn't work in editor mode because you wouldn't want to accidentally have the user, have them accidentally leave the level that they're currently editing. That wouldn't be very fun for them, and they would probably be pretty angry at the product that I've provided them. So the finish blocks don't work in this mode, but I'm going to go ahead and hurry and just create a fun little level and load it up in the play mode. And so the way that the bookcases work is the way they destroy themselves. When I come over here, I click this, you can see that the red block is still there, and that's a bug I'm still trying to work out. What it does is the bookcase goes through all the collision boxes and tells the collision boxes to delete whatever is overlapping them. And for some reason, sometimes it works with every object that's overlapping it except for one. And I'm not quite sure why, but I'm trying to figure it out because it's really annoying me. Like that. And it's not an uncommon bug, I just haven't figured out what's triggering it. Anyway, so we got ourselves a level here. I'm hoping it is finishable. I'm going to save it. I'm actually going to save and quit. And I'm going to go ahead and play it. Level 6. Boom. That was the last level that we have because it's level 6. However, if I were to come over here to level 5, which I don't think is currently finishable in its current state. This was a work in progress map. There we go. Okay. I'm able to come through to the next level. That was just a little safeguard I put in so that when they finish the last level that they have in their array of levels, it boots me back to the main menu. I don't think I ever returned to the main menu block here. But, so that's everything that's working. As you can see, these objects are all frozen, so he can't move, the player can't move them. I never froze this block. So if this guy comes over here to jump on this, I can pick it up and move him up to the finish just fine. So yeah, that is a full demo of my working product. You can see telekinesis worked just fine throughout that. There's one or two bugs with that. Sometimes my collision box doesn't retract, but a simple press of the trigger just pulls it right back. And the bookcases are working just fine. The editor is working just fine. I'm able to create and play the levels that I create. And yeah. Oh, turns out level 0 was the one with the unfrozen block. So one thing you mentioned in class or after class to me was that you wanted to see some proof that like it was like my code that I did this. To start off with what I didn't do, the highlighting system was found online, how to highlight objects and stuff. This isn't my stuff here. That was from online, and then a tutorial, an Unreal catered tutorial gave me a basic VR pawn, as well as taught me how to use interfaces really well to do interact and activate, and then all the telekinesis stuff I did myself, as well as teleporting. That's one thing the tutorial gave me, but I never used it. So I'm just going to go ahead and come in here to VR Pawn real fast and just talk about teleporting real fast. So on every event tick, let's just do right reach ticking. So every event tick, this function gets called. This function says, hey, is right kinesis pressed? If it is, then we're going to need to reach with collision. If it isn't, then are we holding something? No. Okay. Is right reach extended? Yes. Then we're going to want to retract, because if the trigger isn't pressed, the collision box needs to come back to the controller. But for reaching, this is a more interesting function. I can come over here. I find a point that's 5,000 in front of the controller. I do a line trace between it. If the line trace can't complete the distance between the 2 points, I figure out where it hit. I set the collision box's location to the hit point, as well as the rotation to the rotation of the controller to keep things straight. When I retract, or let's not do retract, let's do pulling. Over here in pulling, I get whatever my collision box has overlapped, and I call the interactable interface on that object. What this looks like for the object is, here's my base interactive object class. I got pull object kinetically. So over here, I get the box's location, which is this object, as well as the location of the collision box in hand. I subtract the distance between them by 2, and then I set the location by whatever the distance was, and as well as the location of the collision box, so that the box and the object move together. There's a lot in here. I don't want to get too into this. What's my time at? 3 minutes. Okay, with my last minute, I'm going to hurry and take a look at my saving system. So when I save an object, I've got my current game instance, which is a copy of the root game instance. So very iOS, Android-y things going on here, where I store my save data within the root of the game. There's an array called, or I fill temp interactables, which if we need to save objects, then we take the necessary information from the object, we put it into a struct, and we add it to this array that I call temp interactables. And then I get it into the level data. I store it into the level data, which is located within the root game instance, and I save that level data into a save slot. And this is too deep for 1 minute, but this part here is mainly for just verification purposes. This is saying, hey, I did save something. But anyways, so when it comes to saving the level data, you're getting the interactables, you're getting a level, and you're taking the level, you're saying, okay, this will be the level name, and then the interactables data is also stored into there. And then you add it to the array of levels and return. So I know that that's not as deep as I want to go. It's also not as deep as I want to show. That was like literally like 15% of my level saving logic, but I just wanted to give you that as well. So thank you and goodbye.